This morning, Jimmy Kimmel has still not commented on the suspension despite heavy backlash across the country. Talks on his potential return are supposed to start up again today.
We're joined now by Alex Wiepren, senior editor of media and business at The Hollywood Reporter. Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Can you just talk about, I feel like those of us in media have a lot of thoughts on this, but we go home to our families. They also have a lot of thoughts. This is very unprecedented, particularly with the pressure of local news station owners. Can you talk about the players involved here and where free speech comes into play? It might be a little inside baseball for people, but try to make it digestible if you can.
Yeah, the Kimmel situation is actually a little more complex than people might think. Everyone knows ABC, but you also have to consider the role of the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, in this, as well as the fact that in most of the country, the ABC station where people are watching Jimmy Kimmel is not actually owned by ABC, it's owned by some local affiliate. And so that is kind of a key piece of the puzzle here, because before ABC decided to suspend Kimmel, they heard from some of their biggest affiliate owners that they were going to preempt the show. So even if ABC didn't pull the show, I think Jimmy Kimmel's show would have been dark in a large swath of the country.
Interesting. Okay, so sticking on this business side,
Yeah.
Disney and Nexstar have pending business deals awaiting federal approval. Tell people how that ties into the Jimmy Kimmel show, and will these decisions set a precedent for other companies, you think?
Yeah, Nexstar is one of those owners of ABC stations, and in fact, they have a $6.2 billion deal to acquire another large owner of ABC stations called Tegna, and that is before the Federal Communications Commission, which has to sign off on that deal. So there's a lot of speculation that maybe they were preemptively doing this to try and curry favor with the FCC to help get this deal over the line. Disney also has a deal, not before the FCC, but before the federal government. They've got a deal with the NFL, which wants to acquire a 10% stake in ESPN. So Disney has, something in front of the government as well, and there's speculation on that front that maybe that played a role as well.
Yeah, and that would be a huge deal in terms of sports and streaming. So there are a lot of deals in front of the government right now. A new AP poll just out this morning shows while most Americans don't watch late night hosts regularly, the ones that they do are more likely to be Democrats. Meanwhile, President Trump posted on Truth Social that Seth Meyers and Jimmy Fallon are next. What do you think of the future of late night right now? Paramount had said that the Colbert issue was more of a financial issue. This seems to be something different, but does this affect all of late night?
I do think that late night may be at an inflection point here. This is the last season for The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. CBS canceled it. Sherry Redstone, who was the former chair of Paramount, she said yesterday that it was a purely financial decision. They couldn't make the numbers work. They had previously canceled James Corden's show. We don't know what's going to happen with Kimmel yet. He might come back. Maybe he doesn't. I find it hard to believe that NBC would cancel The Tonight Show, but I do think that the economics of late night don't really work anymore, and we may be nearing a point where what used to be considered late night TV shifts to online only.
Interesting. Okay, Kimmel's contract lasts through 2026. Do you think he'll come back, and what will it take? Do you think he even wants to be involved anymore?
That is the big question. As you noted earlier, he is meeting with Disney executives, so clearly I do think they want him back. But, I wouldn't be surprised if he decides that this was a step too far. He'd publicly mused about retiring in the past. He did sign a new contract, of course. I also think he may not want to, leave his staff unemployed. So I could see this happening in either direction, him returning, him not returning. I think everyone's just holding their breath and waiting to see what happens.
Yeah, I think that's true.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And this is, of course, something we'll continue to watch and expecting to hear from Jimmy Kimmel on this eventually.
Thank you.